Today marks the 57th anniversary of the emergence of the Republic of Biafra in the Comity of Nations by Biafra de facto customary government. On the solemn day of 30th May 1967, the Consultative Assembly from then Eastern Nigeria unanimously affirmed the right to self-determination of their indigenous population to be identified as Biafra, with their millennial name Biafra. The flag of the Republic of Biafra, consisting of a horizontal tricolour of red, black and green, charged with a golden rising sun over a golden bar, was mounted to be suppressed no more. It also inspired the rhyme of the national anthem, Land of the Rising Sun. The motto of the Republic is peace, unity and freedom. The right of self-determination in international law is the legal right for people to ascertain their sovereignty by a legitimate process. The right of self-determination, as of then, was only anchored in the United Nations Charter, which states in Article 1.2 that one of the purposes of the UN is to develop friendly relations among nations based on respect for the principle of equal rights and self-determination of peoples. Biafra and Quebec were the first two nations of the world that put into effect this act of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Biafra was the first African state to grant state pardon to the captured Italian citizens working as ENI petroleum oil technicians in the disputed Biafra territory of Kwale on the 7th of June 1968. The 1977 additional protocols to the Geneva Conventions were consequent to genocide by starvation against Biafrans. International revulsion at the use of starvation as a mayhem on innocent Biafran children by the Nigerian government and cohorts was instrumental in the inclusion of clauses prohibiting starvation as a method of warfare in the 1977 additional protocols to the Geneva Conventions. In recent years, questions on genocide in Biafra have also become topics of academic debates. The Journal of Genocide Research, published by researchers of the International Network of Genocide Scholars, edited a special issue titled The Nigeria-Biafra War, 1967 to 1970, Post-Colonial Conflict and the Question of Genocide, Text 2-3, 2014. True images of genocidal crimes against Biafran children, denuded, denutrited, dying with terrific kwashiorkor epidemic, symbolize how, when and why the world nations failed humanity. Let's clarify a point. The recall on genocide and continual atrocities being melted against the people of Biafra is not a call to gain sympathy. Rather, it is a redress for justice, which we must seek no matter what it takes. Human sympathy is a duty to all persons of goodwill. Liberty and justice is a right. The Republic of Biafra is now in a state of quiescence. Biafra has the appeal of first African political civil rights techno-administrative creativity. So much so that her anniversary is still a popular current phenomenon. Biafra's political landmark in the Comity of Nations, despite colonial and post-colonial conflict, demonstrated to Africa and the whole world that there was no human right more sacrosanct than the right to self-determination when all the other reasons for the survival of a human family have been threatened by a colonial-created political union. It is a duty that this day must be remembered and celebrated by the Biafran families. Yes, the reason why the Republic of Biafra must be celebrated annually remains the same: the survival of Biafran people. It has been from the onset legitimately sought by her generations from different perspectives, and currently interpreted by the young generation in civil acts of fundamental freedom and liberty. Late Gen Odimegwu Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, the first head of state of the Republic of Biafra, pinpointed the massacre and genocide of innocent Biafran people as the core reason why Biafrans needed to have and defend a homeland for survival. In an address to the Organization of African Unity on August 5, 1968, he accused the Nigerian military dictatorial government of waging a genocidal war against Biafra, and argued that it was appalling that this palpable genocide is being openly financed and directed by major non-African powers whose interest in the event is the economic and political advantage of their own countries. Biafrans feel the energy and the potential in their own rights as citizens, civil rightists or activists to remember and celebrate this day. It is a moment for the sharing of experiences, reflections and appraisal which, if correctly understood and exercised in view of the Nigeria national predicaments, is beneficial for our common good. The recollection of memories by Biafrans home and abroad from all walks of life has been essential in reviving the Biafra heritage and legacy that were being negated and cancelled by Nigerian authorities. Equally important have been the experiences handed over by our heroes, heroines and veterans. Biafran Anniversary is also an important moment of unveiling the Biafran values to younger generation Biafrans, friends, well-wishers and detractors, such like when it comes to values of nationhood created under the dictates of human liberty. Biafran legitimate defense for self-determination has been one of the best documented in the history of conflicts in Africa. Unfortunately, it has also been the most denied and hidden, even under threat by the Nigerian government and cohorts. Substantial facts and evidence of declassified documents and files from archives are now revealing what transpired, with silence offensiveness engaged by the masterminders and protagonists. Much is still expected and needs to be done, as to always remember and not to forget the heinous act against the peace-loving people of Biafra.